Um, Trying to live with Restream. I know I asked a few people if they were able to give me advice on Restream and StreamYard, because I want to try and go live in a few different places. This is more of a test than anything. But what I wanted to talk about today, remember when I said I was going to read this book? So I started reading this book. Now, obviously, there is some language that will be used in this live because I'm going to read a little paragraph here that I went through, and just struck a chord, and I want to talk about it really quick. Tree fell down. All right. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I know a lot of people read this. There's positive and negative reviews. I know language is a very colorful one. We'll use that term. But like anything else, there's good and there's bad. You take what works for you and you stop listening to what doesn't work for you. So the chapter I want to read here is actually on page 5. That's how far I got. Everyone and their TV commercials want you to believe that the key to a good life is a nicer job, or a more rugged car, or a prettier girlfriend, or a hot tub with an inflatable pool for the kids. The world is constantly telling you that the path to a better life is more, more, more. Buy more, own more, make more, fuck more, be more. You are constantly bombarded with messages to give a fuck about everything all the time. Give a fuck about a new TV. Give a fuck about having a better vacation than your coworkers. Give a fuck about buying that new lawn ornament. Give a fuck about having the right kind of selfie stick. Why? My guess, because giving a fuck about more stuff is good for business. Makes sense? Consumerism, right? And while there's nothing wrong with good business, the problem is that giving too many fucks is bad for your mental health. And that's what I wanted to key on today. The one thing that I try to do at nighttime, I'll have my 3x5 note cards, and I'll try to focus on 3 things that I have to do tomorrow. The less decisions I have to make, the less I'm asking for my brain to work that day. So I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it straight to the point. So same with this logic. If there's too many fucks that you have to give about the new car, the bigger house, the this, the that, blah, 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 it's hard. And it gets to be overwhelming, and it gets to be a lot. And it's funny, I was listening to the podcast of Kaylor Betts, and he brought in a really interesting point. And I'm kind of going all over the place right now, but bear with me because I like to do that. In his podcast, he was talking about somebody that he followed and who they went to a psychiatric ward, not as a patient, but more as a researcher, to find out who was there and why were they there. And what he discovered that there was a lot of very, very intelligent people. The reason why they ended up there is not because they were loopy and they had technical problems up there, or they weren't smart. It was the opposite. They were actually quite smart. What happened is that they started diving very deep into subjects. When you go down that rabbit hole, if you go down too deep, at some point, you don't know what's for real anymore. And I'm not going to talk about what was the movie with Leo DiCaprio, Inception, or The Matrix, and just going and you get into these incredible mind fucks, and you don't know which way is up, which way is down, and it can be tough on your mental health. So the point of today is try to keep it simple. Give a fuck where it really needs to go. The less things that you give a fuck about, the more when you do give a fuck to something, it's actually a good fuck. You're actually focusing on the right things. What's important to you? Break it down, narrow it down. You focus on the right things, you stop multitasking, and the things that you will focus on, one, you'll probably appreciate them a lot more, and second, you'll get more out of it. So that's what I read. I might want to do these because I want to open up these conversations. Remember when I came live and I talked about mental health and I talked about these are things that I want to open up the discussion. I want to talk about these things. I want to put it out in the open. I want mental health to be a topic that we are comfortable discussing. That is going to be it for today. I want to do a little short one because, like I said, I'm also testing Restream to see if it's something that I like. That is it. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Today's Sunday, right? Everybody's in church. Those one, yeah, okay. That's it for now.